Hey everyone, welcome into the DAGERSystem channel. Today we'll be providing you our PlayStation 5 accessibility review. We'll be reviewing the system for setup, system external, controller, and user interface. So if you're looking for more accessibility info before you buy the PlayStation 5, this is where you want to be. Before we begin, we'd like to thank Sony for providing us with the PlayStation 5 for our review. And if this is your first time here, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, that we get notified on all of our accessibility reviews. At first glance, the PlayStation 5 seems to be business as usual when it comes to Sony's newest flagship hardware. However, it doesn't take much time with the system to realize that we're dealing with something truly special. While some of the old gripes still remain, Sony is making such clear strides towards real, universal design. The gamers with impairment should see a bright future for accessibility in the PlayStation family. The setup will be the least accessible part of the PlayStation 5 experience. Not because there's anything unusual about this hardware, but because the experience of unboxing video game consoles hasn't changed in decades. The system comes in a standard box with components individually wrapped and securely packaged. You'll need easy access to an HDMI port on your screen, an outlet, and the manual strength to lift the almost 10-pound console, or the assistance of an able-bodied individual. Now moving on to the system itself, thankfully, unlike its predecessor, the PS5's power and eject buttons are raised and easy to find. It would be nice if they were marked better than in the engraving and the housing, but the fact that simply running a finger down the central body of the system will lead you to what you need is a massive improvement over the PlayStation 4. The system itself is narrower towards the bottom where the power and eject buttons are found, so the closer you get to the buttons, the harder it is to miss them. The USB ports are found on the front and back of the central body, and the ports on the front are directly in line with the buttons. The most noticeable feature of the PlayStation 5 are its trademark removable faceplates, providing interesting accessibility options for those of us with more precise needs. They can be removed to reduce weight and open the door for accessible tech designers to create their own faceplates to satisfy more specialized accessibility needs. The DualSense controller will be the most subjective piece of this hardware for most users. For clarity, this review is conducted by our editor-in-chief, Josh Straub, who has cerebral palsy and severe muscular spasticity in his lower arms and hands. To test the DualSense, Josh played through Marvel Spider-Man on both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And he found his hands were more comfortable on the DualSense than the DualShock 4, due to the DualSense's large size making it less likely to cause cramps and stiffness during longer play sessions. However, given the unique needs of each individual gamer, we highly recommend handling a controller yourself and making your own decision prior to purchase, if possible. The only real disappointment with the PS5's hardware is the controller's color palette. The gray buttons on the white body were legible for Josh, but we can see it posing a barrier for some low vision users, especially if they don't have the history with PlayStation hardware. The Dualshock S4 Triggers were an issue for many users because they had a habit of collapsing and causing accidental button presses when played on a flat surface like a lap tray. However, because the DualSense triggers can concave rather than convex, this problem is mostly absent. While the DualSense triggers can seem a bit stiff when the controller is brand new, they soften up quickly under normal use. Turning the system on reveals the true magic of the PlayStation 5's accessibility. On day one, it shipped with the screen reader and closed captioning support for the main system UI, both of which are huge improvements over the PS4. In addition to improvements, there are some old favorites such as color inverter, controller customization on a system level. All these features have several different variables and settings that can be manipulated to suit your specific needs. One thing to note is the absence of zoom function in the UI. However, it seems that Sony tried to compensate for this by including a wide range of text sizes and clarity options, such as bolding and contrast controls. On the whole, the PlayStation 5 is a major improvement in the hardware accessibility from Sony. It's not perfect, but it is great. It's capable of adapting to many of the most common accessibility needs you may have when gaming with a disability. Thanks to Sony's continuing commitment to accessibility, the PS5 is definitely a viable option for many impaired gamers. And if you have any questions regarding this video or any accessibility questions on the PlayStation 5, make sure to leave a comment below. That way we can continue to make gaming enabled.